Hello, my name is Robert Paul. I work for Charles Dickens Research School. I am a reception teacher and I'm also phonics lead at the school. And today I'd like to share with you this document by the Education Endowment Foundation, Preparing for Literacy. It's a guidance report. And as with all of the guidance reports from the EEF, it is backed up by research. What this document does is collate international and national research on the subject of preparing for early literacy. So we're very much looking at nursery and reception age children, but I believe this document is useful for all primary teachers. Now, the document is centred around 7 key recommendations about what works best in the early years setting based upon the evidence. So let's get straight into it. Today's video is going to be very much an introduction to this document. You can download it from the link in the description here. Charles Dickens also provides training as well, so look out for that and look out for future videos that expand upon some of the things covered here. Recommendation number 1. So, recommendation number 1 is that we prioritise the development of communication and language in children. We're talking about verbal language here. Language provides the foundation of thinking and learning, and it must be prioritised. High quality adult-child interactions, often referred to as talking with children as opposed to just talking at children. We also need to model really high quality language, whether we're having a conversation with a child or with another adult. And that idea of holding a conversation, learning to have a conversation, is key here. We need to use a wide range of approaches, including shared reading, storytelling, and we need to explicitly extend children's vocabulary. So if we tune into their interests and their learning, we can use that as an opportunity to develop vocabulary. So one of the key points is that high quality interactions are much harder than they look actually when we're talking with children. What we need to think about is guided interaction. And this occurs when an adult and child collaborate on a task. The adult's tuned in to the interests of the child and is expanding upon their language, prompting them with how and why questions, saying phrases like, tell me more about this, I'd really like to know more about your thinking. Getting the children to talk and then building upon their vocabulary, offering synonyms or simply vocabulary that the children don't know yet. Recommendation number 2 is that we develop children's early reading using a balanced approach. So we all know about the importance of teaching systematic phonics. But alongside that, we must teach other activities that support comprehension and children's understanding. So promising approaches to develop early reading include storytelling, lots of singing and rhyming activities. And before children can understand the letter and sound correspondences, we need to teach them to tune into sound using phonics games or pre-phonics games, such as listening to a variety of sounds and then describing those sounds. Are they long sounds, short sounds, snappy sounds, clicky sounds? When we're reading with children, we need to think carefully about our prompts. If a child's quite a reluctant reader or speaker, we might want to think about completion. And this is where we leave a blank at the end of a sentence for children to complete. This works particularly well with books that have rhymes in them or repetitive phrases. We also want to think about recall questions, where we ask children about something that they've already read to check their comprehension, but also to get them to use that storytelling language to get them speaking. It's important to ask open-ended questions. And this is often the focus with picture books. They're very good for asking open-ended questions. Again, we want to be thinking about how and why questions. How do you know? Why do you think that? What do you think will happen next? What would you like to happen next? And then there's distancing, where we connect the books to our own experiences. So you might ask a child, is this anything like your own life? Does this remind you of anything in your own life? And you also might want to link the books to your experiences as an adult and share your understanding, your vocabulary. The third recommendation is that we should develop children's motivation and capability to write. So writing, we know, is a physically and intellectually demanding activity for children. Expressive language underpins writing and should be prioritised. We're going back to the prioritising of verbal language. Before children can write interesting sentences, they need to be able to say them. So we might think about drama activities and talk for writing. One useful intervention to explore might be helicopter stories. We need to provide a wide range of opportunities to communicate through writing and develop children's motivation to write. Are we giving them the opportunity to write for an audience? Are we celebrating writing? We need to support children to develop the foundations of a fast, efficient and accurate handwriting style. And in order to do this, we need to not just monitor the product of the handwriting, what it looks like in the end, but we need to look at the process. Are we checking that all of our children are forming their letters correctly? Are they writing from left to right? Because if we aren't, it's not going to be efficient. Recommendation number 4 is to embed opportunities for children to develop self-regulation. So self-regulation, it refers to children's ability to manage their own behaviour and to take control of their learning. There are a number of approaches, and one effective way is the plan, do, review cycle, where children, before they partake in any activity, they plan what they're going to do. Whether it be building with blocks, they might be thinking about what it is they're going to build, then they'll do it, and then they will review it. So afterwards, they're going to talk about what they found difficult, what they found easy, what they do next time. We're starting to get them to think about their learning, and that skill is highly important for developing their literacy. If children are writing, are we giving them the opportunity to look back and review their work? The 5th recommendation is to support parents to understand how to help their children to learn. Parental engagement can be really, really challenging, but it's got the potential to help the children to develop their literacy, their language and their understanding. Promising strategies include encouraging parents to read to children before those children learn to read themselves, then to read with children. And this is something that we might need to teach parents via workshops or videos. Recommendation number 6 is that we use high quality assessment to ensure all children make good progress. We need to collect a small amount of information of high quality, quality over quantity, to ensure that children who are struggling receive the support they need when they need it. For example, phonics assessment. We should be regularly assessing children's grapheme and phoneme recognition to ensure that we are reteaching the sounds that they need. We also might be putting in place interventions for those children that need them. We need to use high quality assessment to ensure that our time is used efficiently by avoiding rehearsing skills or content that children already know in favour of reteaching those things that they haven't yet embedded. And we need to monitor children's sensory needs to ensure they do not impede learning. So we're thinking about eye tests, hearing tests, those types of things. Recommendation number 7 is that we use high quality targeted support to help struggling children. Small group support or interventions is more likely to be effective when children with the greatest needs are supported by the most capable adults. And those adults have been trained to deliver that intervention. The approach also needs to be evidence-based. And if you're not sure which interventions to use, then have a look on the EEF's website, where they have a fantastic tool that shows you different information like the value for money of interventions, the impact, and how much research there is to back them up. And remember, when delivering interventions, quality is more likely to be impactful than quantity. So make those interventions meaningful, targeted to those children's specific needs. So don't forget, if you'd like a copy of this excellent guidance report, get in contact with Charles Dickens Research School or download it from the link in this video. Also, please feel free to get in contact with the Research School if you'd like training or if you have any questions. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I will see you soon.